皆さん、英語のそーたです。
And I'm Riley.
Oh, right, John, I have a question. In the last episode, we talked about finances or education of money or finances. And then, yeah, in America, you said, yeah, especially older people have more stocks. And my question is, where did you learn about stocks or something? Because in Japan, we don't have those chances to learn about it. But in the States, where?
I don't really know anything about stocks. I mean, I know kind of what they are, but I never really learned about them. I guess through just random, news articles or Twitter or something. I've learned a little bit over time, but no, I definitely don't. I don't actually know about stocks.
Okay, then which means, yeah, people don't learn about that in general. Because after the recording, I looked it up, and then the stock companies in Japan kind of made articles saying in America, people get education or even kids learn about that, but that's a kind of, a marketing strategy, and then that's not really true.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some people, but I don't think it's super common.
Oh, I understand. I'm still wondering where they learn or they get to know about stocks and then they start having stocks, but maybe just conversations.
Yeah, I mean, the thing in America is they call them school districts, right? So it could be as small as a city or even smaller, inside of a city, parts of a city. They have a lot of power to make their own curriculum in schools. So curriculum can be pretty different from different parts of the US, even kind of close to each other. But because if they're different school districts, then they have somewhat different curriculum.
I understand. 皆さん、はい、これ本編ではございませんが、こんにちは、おはようございます、こんばんは。その前回のエピソードでね、そのアメリカでどうやってこの株だったり、お金の教育をこうね、学ぶのか、違いはあるのかっていうところで結論、違いはそんなになさそうというお話で結論ついたんですけど、その収録後にもう一回僕もいろいろこう見ていると、こう日本の株の会社、証券会社とかですかね、がこう記事を作っていて、アメリカではこんなにみんな学んでるのに日本では学んでないみたいな見出しがあって、って思って今ライリーにもう一回聞いてたんですけど、やっぱりその一個、それはアメリカのごめんなさい、日本の証券会社のこういろんな人に株をねやってもらうためのこう記事戦略であるんだろうなと思うと同時に、そのアメリカではそんなにみんながみんな株のことを若いうちから学校とかで習うとかではないと、親からとかそれがマジョリティではないと。ただ会話の中でとかそういうところで知っていくっていうお話ですかね。なので僕もじゃあなぜどこからその株のことを学んでいくんだろうっていうのを収録後にちょっと自分の中で疑問に思っていたので、ライリーに今聞いてみました。あとは面白いなと思ったのが、教育のそのカリキュラムっていうのは州とか地区とかによって本当に違う、自由にやっぱ決めれる、その州が分かれてるからでしょうね。のでそこによってはもしかしたらそういう教育を受けるところもあるのかもだけれども、マジョリティとかね、一般論でいくとそんなみんなが若い時から学ぶとかじゃないよっていうお話でした。はい、ちょっと僕もそうですし、もしかしたら皆さんも聞いたことあるかもなとかを記事読まれてたりした方はね、思ったかもなと思ったので、ちょっとこれを補足で聞きたかったです。今日のテーマはちょっと違います。教育にまつわる、はい、ものなので、そこに入っていきたいなと思います。So, Randy, are you ready?
Yep.
そうたと
Riley の台本なし
し
英会話
英会話
レッスン Episode 359, I think.
Yes, 9 for sure. All right, what is the topic for episode 359, Riley?
It's graduate students.
はい。今回のお題は大学院、あるいは大学院生です。 ラジオネーム、オバティオで読み方合ってますかね。オバチオかオバティオさんからです。ソータさん、ライリー、インスタからね、リクエストをいただきました。読ませていただきます。ソータさん、ライリー、こんにちは。いつもポッドキャストを楽しく拝聴させていただいております。ありがとうございます。僕は今、大学院の修士課程、マスターコースに通っていて、この春卒業し、4月から修士課程、に進学します。そこで一つ疑問だったのが、日本では大学院に通う学生の肩身が狭い印象がある。特に金銭面、世間からの評価などを。一方で、海外では大学院制度が充実していて、一研究者として世間からも比較的認められているように思います。海外では大学院、もっと広く取ると研究者という世界について、一般的にどのような位置づけ、そして理解があるのかということをぜひともお聞きしたいです。ということです。Yes, he is a graduate student now, 修士課程. And then, yeah, from this April, he is going to be, uh,
Or I mean, it's past April now, but yeah.
sorry, what's that?
When he says this April, I'm guessing he means the one that just happened.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
already passed,
Oh, yeah. So, April finished. So, yeah,
right?
he's already, oh, yeah, now you mean not he's going to be. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. He is, yeah, now currently taking a PhD course. Oh, sorry. First of all, PhD course, what's the difference?
Um,
Master course and a PhD course.
yeah, so they're kind of just different levels, right?
Mhm.
Like, um, PhD, when you get a PhD, you can be called, in English at least, you can be called a doctor.
Oh. Hmm.
Even if you're not like a medical doctor, you
Hmm.
can still be called a doctor. Like you can be a doctor of uh whatever, English if you
Hmm.
want. If you get a PhD in English literature, you can be a doctor, right?
Hmm.
Masters, I don't think that gets you any like title, but
Hmm.
it's a slightly lower level, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't want to say it's not low level, but it's lower than PhD, you know.
Hmm. I got it. Thank you. And then yeah, now he is taking a PhD course, and in Japan, he feels like he's not welcome in Japan. Because yeah, people in general might think, oh, he is a rich guy, and then he has to spend another large amount of money. And also, 日本の大学に通うその金銭面と oh, and also maybe it's too expensive or something. Yeah, that's why people might think, yeah, he is rich or something. And then people don't understand how valuable it is to take that course. But on the other hand,
Mm.
he feels like in America, I don't know the cost, but maybe it costs less, or yeah, researchers in general are more kind of welcome in the society and
Okay.
yeah, more valued.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want you guys to talk about the difference and also 世界について一般的などのような AJJ. So, how can they be treated in the American society? That's his
Right.
question.
Right. Okay.
いや、まずごめんなさい。このさっき僕がね、修士課程と博士課程というマスターコース、PhD コース。そうか、もうこれがもう英語の訳なんですよね。修士課程、博士課程か。で、博士課程。で、まあ大学院でもおそらくその何年通うとかね、違ったりすると思うので、ごめんなさい。僕ここリサーチしておくべきだった。ちょっと後で、喋りながらパソコンでちょっとリサーチしますが、はい。その違いがあると、それの英語の説明がさっきライリーやってくれてました。で、どこから始めましょうかね。Yeah, so please answer his question. How are they treated in the society in America?
Okay. So yeah, it's hard for me to say exactly how they're like treated like on an individual basis. I can talk a little bit about how they're seen or how like the kind of stereotypes and things like that about them. Um, and it kind of depends on the person who's talking or the person who's looking at them. So like many things in America, it's often split kind of by politics. So uh in America and probably in most of the world, I think, um people who get higher education, being like, graduate students or PhD students or professors, they tend to be uh, on the left side of politics, if you
Mhm.
understand what I mean.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know which came first, but maybe because of that or whatever. Uh, so people who are like on the left side of politics in general, like people who vote Democrat in the US, tend to be more, what tend to look more positively
Mhm.
on like pol professors or whatever,
Mhm.
graduate students, PhD students. On the other hand, um, Republicans or people on the right side of politics tend to not like um, professors and researchers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Just in general, of course, there are Republicans who do like professors, whatever, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but that's in general.
Mhm. How about you? Which side?
No, I like them. I mean, so when I was in university, my original kind of goal was to eventually become a professor.
Mhm.
Because my major was linguistics, and I kind of knew at the time that in what I was doing, which is called theoretical linguistics, which, theory, it doesn't have that many real world applications. Like it's not like going to school for engineering where after you get a job, or sorry, after you graduate, it's easy to get a job because, engineering is engineering. So if you learned how to you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it gets you a job pretty easily. Linguistics, there are not that many jobs that you can get paid for where you just like study
Mhm.
language, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so I kind of knew from the beginning of my university career, or whatever you say, that I it was going to be hard to get like a job with my major. So I thought that's okay. I will just keep going to school. I'll get like a PhD eventually, and I'll become a linguistics professor. That was the original goal.
Mhm.
Um, then obviously I didn't do that. I ended up being a English teacher, which is kind of using my linguistics degree a little
Mhm.
bit.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so that's how I know a little bit about this kind of stuff because at the time I was interested in it.
うん。I understand. ちょっと訳したいなと思いますので、まずは、その、うん、まあ、一旦アメリカ社会にしましょうかね。アメリカ社会では、ね、どちらかというと、こう、政治的に、こう、左寄り、日本語も英語もね、こう、左翼、右翼ってね、こう、同じ表し方をするのがね、時に言語って共通点があって面白いなって思ったりいつもするんですけど、そう、左翼寄り、こう国がこうこうこうとかじゃない側、その強く政治に対してね、こう意見を、なんでしょうね、こう、主張をそんなにしない人は、まあ、どっちかというと、liberal って感じですよね、left は。Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
う
sure.
ん。そう、なんかこう、自由とか平等とか、もっとね、こうしていこうとか、こう、みんなを平等に考えたりね、する傾向にある人たちが多いので、やっぱりそっち寄りの人たちは、大学院生とか、あるいは研究者というものをこう歓迎するというか、受け入れるのに対して、その反対側、うーん can I say they're kind of aggressive? I mean, people on the right side? How can I
Um,
explain, yeah, those differences, people on the right side and left side? Hmm.
I mean, the term they would probably use, the term they often use about themselves is conservative.
Mm,
So conservative means basically like they don't want to change too many things, right? They want to kind of keep things like they are or like they were in the
mm,
past is
no,
generally how people describe it.
mm. And in Japanese, we say uyoku means, sometimes aggressive or you're conservative at the same time. They love the country, uh, yeah, that kind of stuff. And is it the same in the States as well?
Yeah, yeah, it's similar. I mean, aggressive is an interesting word because aggressive about what I'm not really sure, but they could
Mm,
be aggressive. Like
mm, mm.
I don't,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know. In Japan, at least, on the right side of Jiminto versus in the Republicans in the U.S. Historically,
Mm,
they've been more like pro-military, pro-war.
mm.
So you could maybe say that's aggressive.
Yeah. うん。うん。そうですよね。うん。わかります。I got what your point. I got what you mean. Yes. なので、ちょっと話を戻しますね。なので、大学院生とか研究者を、やっぱこう左寄りの方は、こう自由とかね、そういうところを尊重していくので、受け入れる傾向にあり、まあ、反対側、僕はそのアグレッシブを使ったのは、こう何を切り取るかによって変わると思うんですけど、いや何も変えなくていい、もう、ね、この日本のこの国をとかアメリカのこの国をというその自分の愛国心っていうのかな、そこの部分でこう積極的と捉えた場合、まあアグレッシブになるのかなと思うんですけど、視点を変えればコンサーバティブ、こう保守的、今のものを変えなくてもいいってね、なるとも思うので、そうなるとね、アグレッシブなのは逆の反対側の人たちの方がもっと変えていこうとかってね、していくという、まあ捉え方によって言葉の選び方は変わりますよねっていうお話でしたが、そう、そっちのライトサイドの人たちは、やっぱりね、その自由、平等とかよりも今の伝統とかを大切にするという意味で、あまりこう研究者とかをあまり、うーん、歓迎しないという傾向にあるというお話でしたね。うん。日本ではどうなんでしょうねって今考えてたんですけど、Yeah, I was wondering about the situation in Japan. Yeah, left side versus right side. Then, yeah, is there any difference between um, understanding or loving uh, graduate students or not? But
Mm.
mm, I can't tell the difference. So maybe that's in the States. You think so?
Maybe, yeah. I think definitely in a lot of Western countries as well, the UK or etc. It's like that
Mm,
as well, but I
mm.
don't know about Japan.
Yeah. Oh, and also aggressive about maybe patriotism. That's for kind of the right side, right?
Uh, yeah,
うん。
generally, yeah.
うん。そうですね。愛国心がね、強いっていう言い方の方が良いかなと思いました。で、ちょっと話を戻すと、いや、how about the cost? Does it cost a lot in the States?
Uh, Graduate school,
Yeah.
y- yes. I mean, yeah, like,
Oh.
I mean, all university costs a lot in
う
the US,
ん。
right? So graduate school, I don't know because I never got to the point of actually applying
う
to
ん。
graduate school, so I don't know exactly the cost, but I imagine it's pretty similar to undergraduate, which is, the first 4 years
う
of
ん。
university,
うん。
which means it's like in America, if you go to a public university, you know what? How much is it nowadays? It's probably like at least I would say probably $20,000 a year or something like that.
うん。うん。うん。
Average
うん。
cost of undergraduate university, whatever. It's probably like that. Private, on the other hand, is much, much more than 50,000 probably for a year.
うん。うん。うん。
Um, yeah. So it's a lot of money. And I imagine graduate school is similar. Now, the difference is
うん。
that most graduate programs will offer you a teaching position. So
うん。
you will work there. No, sorry. First, you'll study there, right? You're taking classes with professors. Um, but then you're also helping to teach the undergraduate classes.
うん。うん。うん。
So that I don't think that makes the education free, but it reduces the cost a lot. So, yeah, things like that. Like, I think most graduate students in the US are probably teaching while studying, and they might have another job as well that they do like at night or on weekends or something like that. And they also stay in usually like university housing, or they have roommates, um, near the university or something. So they try to like live in a cheap apartment. Um, there's a, there's a stereotype that students, not just undergraduate students, but graduate students too, are like poor, right? Like a student income or whatever. I'm on a student salary or something like that is something that people say, and it basically means I don't have any money.
うーん。なるほどね。そう、まず学費に関しては、やっぱり大学院はね、アメリカも高いという、特に日本のね、学費と比べるともともとが高いので、ね、いや、僕はこの質問したのは、ね、日本で肩身が狭くなるのって、例えばお金がすごくかかるから、に対してアメリカではサポートとかね、その助成金とかも例えばあったとして、そんなにお金がめちゃくちゃかかるものじゃない立ち位置だからこそ、こうね、歓迎されるとか、金銭的な違いがあるのかなと思って今聞いてましたが、お金のところはね、一緒のようですね。あとそうそう、ごめんなさい。僕、これ前もって調べておかないといけなかったなと思ってたやつが、日本の大学院とか、一般的に何年なのかっていう世界的にね、ちょっとこれだけ調べていいですか？日本、大学院。何年
Huh. Maybe 2 years, probably.
あ、そうですね。マスターコースが、2 years、2年
Yeah.
間で、PhD コースが3 years。And in total it's gonna be 5 years。なので、大学院、僕もわかんないので、わからない方
Hmm.
もね、いらっしゃると思うので、そう、大学、まず4年行きますよね。あれが、undergraduate。So I was a undergraduate student とか、ですよ
Right.
ね。うん。で、次、大学院生になったら、He is a graduate student。大学
Yeah.
院生です。卒業したけれども学生ですという graduate student. And a graduate student includes, these 2 years and 3 years, both
Uh,
courses.
yeah, graduate student would go up to PhD student, or yeah.
Oh, then PhD student is not called a graduate student.
No, no, sorry, it is. It includes
Includes.
graduate student includes PhD student.
うん。で、そう、大学院生はその2年と3年の両方を含むんですけど、2年で卒業する人もいれば3年もね、プラスをして計5年になる場合もあると。それが PhD コースってさっき言ってたやつですよね。で、このね、最後の3年の方を行けば、Doctor とも呼ばれるという呼び方が変わったり、もっと立場的にね、こう偉くなったりするっていうことをですね。ここだけちょっと、整理なのと、そう、うん、ライリーも昔はね、大学院に通って、こう、言語のね、教授になったりもしようかなって考えたみたいですけど、やっぱりねどのジャンルに行くかによって、linguistic って言ってましたけど、言語学はなかなかね、仕事がないかもっていうことでね、断念をしたみたいですけれども、それが、ライリーの体験談。あとやっぱ、お金的にもね、コストはかかるので、一般的な価値観として、こう、graduate students are poor っていうようなイメージがある、アメリカでもっていうお話でしたね。Yeah, so I want to focus on the difference in America
Mm.
and in Japan in terms of understanding or welcoming them. Um, I think one of them could be financial aspects. I think it's even in the States as well. But for example, in Japan, mm, people might think they don't earn money or they get financial support from parents even
Mm.
after,
Mm, mm, mm,
yeah,
mm.
23 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
But how about in the States? Yeah.
I think people probably think that in the States too. I think it's probably true
Hmm.
that a lot of graduate students are getting help from their parents still to pay for it, or to pay their rent, or whatever, some amount of money.
Hmm.
I think that's probably true in a lot of cases, not all.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and also, the even if they don't get money from their parents, they often have to take out loans, right? Like student loans. And in America, at least student loans are like really bad. Um, I think still it's the biggest source of debt in the US, meaning like it used to be credit card debt, right? Like you buy a lot of things on your credit card and now you owe whatever $10,000 or something like that. It used to be that credit card debt was the biggest kind of debt that Americans had. But I think for the last 10 or 15 years, it's been student loan debt.
Mm. But still, compared to Japan, do you think people evaluate or admire their study process in the States?
Like, think, oh, it's cool that you're studying still, like you're that you're in
Mm,
graduate school or whatever. Oh, it depends. I think
mm,
it really depends on what you're studying too. Like,
mm,
if you're studying to be a doctor, right, that takes an extra probably 5 or so years after you graduate university. Maybe it's a little different in Japan, but I think in the US, it takes a long time to become a
mm,
doctor. And most people, I think, would say, oh, you're studying to become a doctor. Wow, like that's, and I mean medical doctor, right? Like that kind of
mm,
doctor. They would probably be impressed by that. Or if you say, "Oh yeah, I'm getting my like physics PhD," if you say something with like science or something like that, people will probably be impressed.
mm.
But if you say, like, "I'm doing my PhD on, like Heian Jidai Japanese literature," somebody will say, okay, that sounds difficult or something. Like they won't say they wouldn't be mean and say like,
Mm,
wow, that's really impressive. Sorry, they wouldn't be nice, super nice and say that, but they also wouldn't be super mean and say, oh, like you're wasting your time or whatever. But
mm,
they might think you're wasting your time. Like who
mm,
cares about, say Shonagon or whatever.
mm. Yeah, so even for any graduate students, maybe we can say that after their graduation and then after getting their jobs in the, you know, technical fields, maybe people, for sure, not maybe, for sure, people start to evaluate their process. But yeah, while they're studying or taking the course, maybe they might have to have a hard time because people will say, "Oh, you're still um, studying, and then you get financial support from your parents." So maybe yeah, because we got a request. He feels like he is not welcome in Japan, but maybe that's temporary, I guess.
I think I
Mm,
think probably there's a feeling maybe even this is even stronger in Japan, but I think in the US even there's a feeling that you're supposed to, you go to school for 12 years
mm,
at least, right? Until the end of high school. And then you go to university for 4 more years. And that's like you're supposed to do that
mm,
so that you can get a good job, right?
mm,
And then you graduate and you're supposed to then start working
mm,
and living on your own, usually, maybe a little bit less so in Japan, but you're supposed to start working and living on your own and, supporting yourself and
mm,
people might say contributing to society, right? You're doing a job, you're paying taxes, all this blah, blah, blah.
mm,
And the idea, I think, that if you choose instead to, after your 4 years of university, to do more school,
mm,
then you're a little bit kind of stuck as a child. You're
mm,
not really fully an adult yet because you're not living on your own, you're not making money, you're not blah blah blah.
mm,
This is the idea, right? This is not my opinion. This is
mm,
what
mm.
people
Yeah, yeah.
think.
Mm,
Um, and so they might look down on you like, "Oh, you didn't get a job yet, huh? You're still in school." Like it's kind of like you're still a kid a little
mm,
bit.
mm, mm, mm. Mm. Yeah, so that's the kind of general idea. That's not your opinion. Um,
Mm,
yes. But yeah, my point is after graduation, they get more evaluation. So yeah, he has to keep studying for now っていうところなんでしょうね。 うん。なので、一個ね、思ったのが、金銭的にね、自立を、してる、してないっていうところが、一個人が、何かを評価するときに判断するものなんだと思うんですよね。なので、このご質問にあった、日本ではちょっと肩身が狭い思いをしてしまうっていうのは、どこか、ね、まだ働いてないからとかね、金銭的にまだサポートを親から得てるからっていう、その家庭にいるからっていうのもあると思うんですよね。で、それはアメリカでもそうなのかって聞くと、やっぱり、アメリカでもあると。で、そこを、いや、このね、ご質問いただいて、これをどう今ポジティブに変えれるかっていうところを考えないといけないと思ったんですよね。なので、一つは、今は苦しい時期だと思うんですけど、卒業してから、ね、その分野で、名を馳せるとかね、輝くとかのチャンスが、人の何十倍もあるわけですよね。で、やっぱり、博士号なんだとかね、ドクターなんだってなると、やっぱり信頼度も増したりっていう。ただ、そこに行くまでには、やっぱりちょっと時間がかかったりとか、ね、今がおそらくね、もやもやしてしんどい時期なんだろうなって感じ取ったので、まずはね、今は卒業後の輝きを目指してね、頑張っていただけたらなと思うのと、まあアメリカの状況のお話もありましたけど、アメリカでもやっぱ同じような見方はあるってことですね。向こうでの評価っていうのはやっぱ人によっても違ったり、あとは何の博士号かによっても変わるっていうね、あの、科学とかお医者さんとかっていうところと、ね、まあ、平安時代を研究してるとかっていう、もちろんそれもすごいんですけど、やっぱすごいのその評価のされ度合いっていうのは、アメリカでも何の分野にね、特化してるのかによっても変わるっていうお話でしたね。ただその平安の方も含め、それでテレビに出まくるとかね、清少納言は昔はもうこんな人だったみたいなのとか、どれだけ研究結果をよく出せるかっていうところでね、評価も変わってくると思うので、まずは今を耐えて頑張っていただくっていうことなのかなって思いました。Sorry, Riley, can you make another one?
Yeah. Yeah.
はい、ちょっと二つ目のお部屋に今来たんですけれども、Yes, I think he feels like this because he can't earn as yeah, he can earn a lot of money for now because he has to study. But
Right.
to yeah, change the situation, yeah, I wanted to focus on the part-time job aspect for graduate students. In the
Mm.
States as well, people do part-time work.
Yeah, I think a lot of graduate students will be like waiters or something like that while they're working. Maybe if they can get a good situation like getting paid to do research or something kind of related to their studies, that's the best situation. But I think a lot of times they just get some job to make some extra money.
Yeah, that might be another difference perhaps because yeah, it was my friend or something, I don't know, but yeah, when I met those graduate students, they said, "Oh, I don't work part-time or yeah, I don't work because I have to study." They said. So my point is if you want to be confident, then yeah, as we pointed out, some people might feel like or might judge you based on how much you earn or whether or not you have your own job. So it might be better to work even part time. Then you can confidently say, I'm researching and at the same time I'm working. So
Hmm.
一個思ったのは、僕が出会った大学院の人たちは今まで、バイトとかしてない人が多かったイメージがあるんですね。で、正直やっぱね、バイトとかをしてないって聞くと、研究で忙しいのはわかります。研究で忙しいのはわかるんですけど、やっぱそういうのを知らないど素人の僕たちからするとね、え、23歳とかを超えて、ね、まだ、仕事とか、バイトすらしてないんだって、やっぱ思う人もいると思うんですよ。僕もちょっと思っちゃうかなと思うんですよね。なので、一つは、ね、 自信を持って肩身を狭く感じないために自分がどう思うかだと思うんですよね。人にどう言われようと自分が自信を持っててたらいいと思うので、一つはなんかこう、バイトとかをちゃんと頑張りつつ、いや、こんなに頑張りながら勉強してるんですっていうのを、やっぱこう示すことなんじゃないかなと思ったんですよね。まあ、もしもバイトされてたら、もうここはスルーしていただいて。あと他思ったのが、いや、because I wanted to give him some realistic advice because he feels like he's not welcome. Then one part-time job. Anything else can you come up with?
Um,
Okay, you can
you
think
know
about
what?
it. Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say something a little bit different.
Okay.
Because I think so. There's this expression in English that ivory tower. Um, Ivory tower is this idea that people who are in academia, like wor studying in universities or working in universities, that they're in these kind of like if you imagine like Oxford or Hogwarts from Harry Potter, right? That they're in these kind of like old buildings and they just stay there and they do their research and they don't interact with like the outside world. This is the kind of idea that there is, right? And to some extent, it's kind of true, not literally the old building thing, but the academic world is kind of separate from the real world, right? That going to these conferences where you give a speech about your research and a lot of other professors are listening to your speech, but actually if you gave that speech to regular people, no one would understand what you're talking about or no one would care maybe. um and so these are like kind of different worlds in some way.
Um,
And honestly, like, I kind of think that's okay because, like, if people are going to learn more about, let's say it's science, right? If you're going to learn more about, like, nuclear physics or whatever, some kind of biology or whatever, most people are not going to understand that, right? It's just because they haven't studied to that level of physics or biology or whatever. And that's okay. Like that's how it's supposed to work. That's how we learn more, right? But as far as like being a part of society, like I mean, I guess yeah, that's just kind of up to him or up to people who are in academia, like to do things that normal people do too. Like if that makes sense. Like yeah, if all you do is study and go to conferences and whatever, then of course you're not going to really be in normal society. But it's the same with somebody who works all the time. Like if all you do is go to the office and then go home to sleep, like if you work 12 hours a day or whatever, yeah, you're not going to really be in society because all you do is work. Like you're just in the office. So yeah, if you, I don't know, join a sports club on the weekend and play futsal, or if you go to a painting class or whatever, I don't know, something like that. Like, if that's what you're worried about, feeling like you're a part of society, fine. But I think if the concern is how other people see you, like other people think I'm not like a real adult because I'm still in school or whatever. They think I have a lot of money because I have to pay for education, but actually I don't. Well, that's kind of whatever. There's nothing you can do about that. That's how you can't really change how other people see you. You can only change like how you act toward them or how you feel about what they say about you, right? You can, you know.
Interesting. Yeah. So your point is, he can separate what he has been doing from what other people are doing or saying. That's his kind of field. And about the, working people, yeah, even if they're doing the kind of similar things, going to the office and then they don't interact with people, but people don't criticize them because I think they earn. I think realistically, people judge others based on their income or whether or not they are independent financially. So yeah, that's why I said if he feels like he is not welcome, yeah, having a job, even part-time, can be one of the solutions. And also another realistic one I came up with was like sharing your study on social media, like on Instagram. Then people get more interested in his field, and also he might get more followers perhaps, and then in the future he might get a job through those activities. So yeah, and also he can enjoy the process, and that's how I have been doing. So yeah, this is another not solution. Yeah, another thing I came up with.
Yeah,
Mm.
I that's an idea. I think there's a way to do that. You could make it more like accessible to other people to try to understand it.
Mm.
I don't know if there would be questions about whether you're like allowed to share that kind of stuff. I don't know, but
Yeah.
whatever. If it's possible, yeah, it could work.
Definitely.
But I
Mm.
think probably for most people doing research or doing like high level study,
Mm.
it's honestly, it probably isn't that. It wouldn't be that popular on Instagram because nobody cares about like when you're doing, by the way, PhD research, right?
Mm.
We imagine that like when we're going to undergraduate school, you're learning about kind of the basics of whatever it is, right?
Mm.
Like let's say if you studied English in university, then you're learning about grammar, and you probably are reading some books in
Mm.
English, like literature, right?
Mm.
And then you go to masters and you have to get a little bit more specific, right? So now I'm doing like English literature, meaning like literature in England, not in English, but like
Mm.
from England,
Mm.
from the period of like 1800 to 1900, right? Victorian literature, you would call
Mm.
that, right? Now that's my master's subject,
Mm.
right? Then when you do a PhD, now you're talking about one specific novel or one specific author in this I want to talk about like Victorian. I don't know, Frankenstein, I think is Victorian. I want to talk about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but specifically how like the human body is represented in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, blah blah blah. So you get these like very, very specific
Mm.
research interests that maybe stop being interesting for everyone else.
Mm. Yeah, so I'll try to make it sound fun on social media. So
Right.
yeah,
If possible.
so that's what we have to do in this current society. And then we have social media, fortunately. そう、はい、最後ね、オバティオさんがね、なんか肩身が狭くてっていうコメントがどうしても僕の中で引っかかって、ね、どうやったら自信を持ったりとか、自分がやってることに満足して、通っていただけるんだろうって思った時に、なんかお伝えできることがあればなと思って、ただ現実を見ないといけないところもあると思うので、今回ね、そのアメリカでもこう思う人もいるとか、ね、やっぱ金銭的な自立っていうところが人がね、見てしまうところでもあったりすると。それは例えばね、英語学習されている方で言えば、留学とかもそうですよね。過去のエピソードでも僕言ったと思うんですけど、全額じゃなかったとしても、自分でもこんだけできる範囲内でやってるんですとかね、それこそ、居酒屋で夜中まで働いてる大学院生とかやったらなんかかっこよくないですか？そこまでしてやってるんだみたいなね。でもどうしてもやっぱり、そこが全部サポートを親からもらってるとかってなっちゃうと、なんか見方は変わるでしょうから、そう僕自身も学生の時とか、人からそうやって言われないために、とにかくこれは自分でやろうとか、すごいそういうところの気持ちは強かったので、まあ一個そこ、バイトだったりとかなんかやってみるのが一つかなっていうのと、で、ライリーのアドバイスとしては、いやでも、もう切り分けていいんじゃないっていう、 その一般の人たちがやってることと、その大学院生の人たちとか研究者がやってることってもう違う世界であると、もうそれこそホグワーツの中に入ってこもってね、魔法を研究しているのと、マグルの実世界のね、世界が違うように、もう世界が違うので、そのね、やらないといけないスピーチ、研究、それを一般の人たちに伝えたところでね、分かってもらえないので、もうそこは切り離して自分のね、専門分野として頑張ればいいんじゃないだろうかっていう視点と、あともう一個僕は最後言ってたのは、今の時代をね、うまく活用するのであれば、SNS とかの発信をしてみるのはどうなのかなと思ったんですよね。で、それこそ僕がやってることじゃないですか。プラス学生の頃から僕やってたので、やってきたことなので、それでやっぱりなんかこう、自分自身が人から求めてもらえてるっていう、思いも感じられますし、ね、いろんな方に見てもらえるようになったら、責任も伴ってくる中で、こう、自分をちゃんと誇りを持って、こう、やってることをね、伝える、研究してることとか勉強してることを伝えるっていう風にもなるでしょうし、なんか SNS をやることで自分の自信だったりとか、あ、こんなに求められてるんだっていうのも分かってもらえたりするんじゃないかなって、現実的なね、アドバイスとしてお伝えできることとしては僕はそれは思いました。で、まあ、最後ライリーが言ってたのが、でも研究のね、内容のものって SNS でなかなかこう好かれにくいよねっていう、難しいよねっていうお話だったんですけど、そう、僕も最近、小説家の友達がいてね、こう、小説っていうだけで、SNS とかに載せようとしても何にも人が興味を持ってくれないっていう。でも、僕は一個思うのは、そこの載せ方を考えるのが今の時代なんじゃないかなと思うんですよね。こう、どんだけ難しいものも、一般受けするようなコミカルな面白い形に例えば変えれば、ねえ、なんかこう、人に伝わるものってあると思うんですよね。そこの工夫っていうのは僕も昔からしているのと常にしているので、どうやったら一般受けする楽しいものになるんだろうっていう、そこにこう、なんか咀嚼して楽しいコンテンツにして変えて、ね、発信するっていうのも、また一個方法なのかなって思ったりもしました。なので、はい、こう、まとめますと、アメリカでも評価されることはあるけれども、やっぱ分野によるっていうところと、ね、お金はやっぱね、学校でも高い、アメリカでも高いっていうところと、あとは、そうですね、ね、卒業してからいろんな可能性があるんじゃないかっていうところと、はい、それがまあ今日のエピソードかなと、これで全部網羅しましたよね、修士課程で。金銭面の手世間からの。うん。なので、まあ、アメリカでも確かにサポートはあるよう、そうですね。研究者は多いのかもですけど、世間のね、印象っていうのは日本と同じで、ちょっと肩身が狭い時もあったりするということですね。Oh, Riley, quick question. So,
Yeah.
in America compared to Japan, do you think they're more welcome or same, or what do you think? Researchers, or
Um,
graduate students.
yeah, it's hard to say if they're more welcome than Japan. I don't really know exactly how they're treated in Japan. I can't really say.
Mm. Mm. But in the States, people respect or admire graduate students, or do you feel that way?
Um, yeah, I don't know. I kind of said in the beginning, it depends on how um who's
うん。
looking or who's
う
talking about
ん。
them.
うん。
Um,
そうよね。うん。
but
I think
yeah,
then that's the
and
same. うん。
it depends on their subject, right? If it's science, maybe they get a little more respect than if they're studying
うん。
whatever literature or something else like
う
that.
ん、そうですよね。なので、聞いてる限り、アメリカだからといって、大学院生がみんな評価をじゃあ受けてるのかっていうと、なんか今、こうやって聞いても、って考える感じなので、そうではないんじゃないかなっていう。つまり、ポジティブに捉えると、全世界ね、その扱われ方ってちょっと同じなんじゃないかなと思ったので、日本だからとかじゃなく、どこの国でもそうやってね、こう思ってる人もいるんじゃないかなと思うので、その中で、将来輝く可能性もあったり、あとは今お伝えしたようなね、いろんな自立とかそういうところも考えてもらうと、将来ね、羽ばたける可能性が多分人よりたくさんあるんだと思うので、自信を持って頑張っていただけたらなと思います。そう、DM でもね、もう今やってること自信持って頑張ってくださいってお伝えはしたんですけど、はい、言葉でお伝えできたらなと思いました。今日のエピソードはい
かがでしたでしょうか？
かがでしたでしょうか。はい、そうですね、こう、いっぱい話しましたが、I have a friend who is making a book, like a novelist, and he also
Oh,
said,
wow.
yeah, on social media, I want to post something, but people don't have any interest in my subject. So yeah, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, it can be like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I said at the time too was, yeah, you can try to make it sound fun. Like, yeah, what is the novelist routine from morning to night or something like that. Or, yeah, even about the subject. So, yeah, I hope he can enjoy his process. Yes! はい、僕は英語のソータで調べていただくと SNS いろいろ出てきます。インスタとか YouTube とか Twitter とか出てきます。Riley は Riley サルマ XC で調べてください。Any other comment? Nothing?
I think that's it. I mean, I want to say that, like, I think being a graduate student or a PhD student, researcher, whatever, I think that's cool. I still think there's maybe a world where I could pursue that in the future. I feel like I'm getting a little old now, but it's still something that I kind of want to do. I miss studying or researching, writing. I miss that kind of stuff nowadays, so I still kind of want to do it personally.
なるほど。そう、いろんなね、アメリカ社会の一般論は共有しましたが、ライリーは個人的に、大学院生いいなとか、今からでもやりたいなとか、ああいう研究とか楽しかったなって思うっていうことなので、そう、誰を見るかとかね、どこからの評価を得るかによって、ね、人の意見って変わったりすると思うので、こうね、勉強が好きだったり、学が好きだったり、まあね、平等だったりいろんなことを考える、例えば僕たちとかそういう人たちと話せばすごいじゃんとかね言ってもらえると思うので、こうどこを見るかだと思うので気にせず今の頑張りたいことを頑張ってください。はい、ではまた次回のエピソードでお会いしましょう。バイ。
Bye.